Don't stress, live life one day at a time. Don't drink or drug and you'll be fine.
Welcome back to Staying Sober with Papa Joey. It's been a while since I did a video, getting the studio set back up, but I wanted to come on without even preparing anything special, other than the reason I decided to come back was because I've had quite a few people reach out to me and ask me what I thought about some things that have been going on, especially on Facebook. There's some people out there that are peddling, a whole new way of getting sober. One in particular that really irritates me is some dude who's, always got the hat on, tattooed, lifting weights, just talks bullshit like he's a tough guy, and basically is asking you if you're sick and tired of what's going on in your life, and it's for men only, and it's for business owners or entrepreneurs or high level executives, because if you have money, he wants to talk to you. He says he has helped over 13,000 people in the last 6 years or 7 years. Bullshit, Now, I don't know what help means. Maybe he talked to somebody. Is that helping him? Did they stay sober? I did some research on the guy, and a lot of people who have attended whatever the hell he's selling, he makes them sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, like it's something secret that he's doing. And basically, it's just bullshit. Okay, he wants to charge you to get you sober or to help you get sober. And then there's this other guy. I mean, I'll put him on in some other podcast. I'll put what they say on Facebook, and I'll let you decide for yourself. Another guy's an English guy, and he says he's got this new way that's got a 98% success rate. Again, I don't know what they mean by success rate. Do you stay sober for a week, 10 days, 2 months, a year, 2 years? I don't know. I don't know. But all it is a way to get people to reach in their pocket, pull out a credit card, and let them bang your credit card. All right? After seeing this stuff time and time again, I'll be honest with you, I get pissed off. I really get pissed off, because you see, if they really wanted to help you, if you're struggling with getting sober, if you're drinking too much or abusing drugs, and people really wanted to help, there's other ways to do it. Now, here on my channel, I've got probably 40 something videos up, and I did take about 6 to 8 months off for a while, because the content is not going to change. Nothing changes. There's only one way to get sober and stay sober. You don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. Now, I know that sounds easy. I don't mean it to be that way. I mean, there are some challenges that will come along once you get sober that you have to deal with, but the only way to stay sober is you don't put a drink in you. That's it. Okay? Some of these guys out there are going to teach you how to control your drinking. Run from these people as quick as you can, because if you have a problem with drinking, controlling it is not going to help, right? Because you may think you're going to control your drinking. Maybe you'll have 1 or 2 drinks or before you get loaded all the time. But I guarantee you, there's going to come that time when you think you're going to control your drinking that you might not want to. You're already drinking. Maybe you want to grab that buzz that you love so much. And then you're going to hit it, right? Keep drinking. And then what? Who knows? maybe a DUI, maybe you get into a fight, maybe you and your wife, or your wife and the husband, whatever, who's ever doing the drinking, has a fight. Next thing you know, your whole life's in a mess again because of your drinking. But somebody was telling you that they can show you how to control that drinking. It's like, hey, tell a drug addict that you can help them control their use. Maybe just get high every now and then. Maybe just shoot up once in a while, not all the time. And maybe do a little coke on special occasions. It's all bullshit. All right? What they're trying to do is make money from you. Now, the way I got sober, and a lot of people, they went to AA. Now, these two clowns that I'm talking about, they also say, well, if AA didn't work for you, well, they're not knocking it, but if AA didn't work for you, you need to go see them. Well, the only way AA works, the only way, if you go to church to get sober, if that works for you, or if you pay money to these clowns, the only way they could say it works is if you don't pick up a drink or a drug. That's it. All right, you got to make the right choice. Nobody is going to make that choice for you. Okay? I could never make your choice for you because nobody was going to make the choice for me. Even all the times I got into trouble, totaled 2 cars, got arrested a few times, got the DUI, had to go through the courses. I even went to the courses for my DUI drunk, right? A lot of good that was doing me, but I didn't want to get sober. I really didn't want to. I knew I should, but I didn't, okay? And then, if you listen to some of my old podcasts, I tell the whole story, but I came to Florida with my wife and 2 kids to attend a film school. And I ended up getting drunk with some friends down here. My wife was out of town, made a complete ass out of myself again. And finally, I woke up the next morning. I was told what an asshole I was. And standing in front of a mirror with tears, flowing down my cheeks, I said, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I had 4 beers left in the refrigerator. I drank them because I was shaking. But I said, that's it. When those 4 are done, I'm done. And I remember that somebody that I met in Florida, where I am now, had told me they were 10 years sober because they went to AA. So the next day, I got my ass to an AA meeting. I don't know what to expect, but that's what I did. And that was August 31st of 1992. I've been sober ever since. 2 months after that, my wife left me, took my kids, went back up to New York. I was down here with nobody, didn't know anybody, except I knew a few people from AA. So AA was the place I used to go hang out when I didn't want to sit home alone. But I understood real early on when the people in AA said, don't pick up that first drink, because the first drink will get you drunk. And once you understand that, you go, aha. Now, even after the first meeting, and I've shared this before in my other podcast, a guy by the name of Jack came up to me, and I was getting ready to leave. I just wanted to get out of there, man. I mean, I went to my first AA meeting. The people were nice. It was a crowded room, but I just wanted out. I was still shaking from what happened 2 days before. But Jack stopped me and he said, listen, Joey, don't drink, come to a meeting, and the rest is all conversation. I said, thanks, Jack. And I got the hell out. Well, later on that night, I was thinking, what the hell does he mean? Don't drink. I get it. Come to a meeting. They were talking while I was there, because the meeting was directed towards me, the newcomer, how important it is to attend meetings. I get that, but what did he mean by it's all conversation? Then it dawned on me a couple of days later. What he meant was it's all bullshit. Because there's going to come time when there are going to be problems in our lives, or maybe something really good is happening. We want to pick up that drink, or if you're into drugs, you want to pick up that drug, right? But we can't, because the minute we do, or at least for me, I'll talk for myself, the minute I pick up a drink, I'm going to want my buzz and I'm off to the races. Okay, so I'm not bullshitting myself. I know why I shouldn't put alcohol in me. And that's what you have to understand, is why you really shouldn't put alcohol in you. Not why your family members tell you you should, or your wife, or your kids, your bosses, whoever. All right, because there's going to be people telling us, especially if you're still drinking, why you need to quit. You're going to lose everything, blah, 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 blah. You got to understand, all right? That's the key. And that's what worked for me. I understood why I shouldn't put a drink in me. I understood that I had a choice. And here's how I really understood it. And I want you to think about this. I was just a little over 2 months sober. My wife had left. We still lived together until she left. So I was sober for about 2 months. And I had to pack up a U-Haul and say goodbye to my wife and my two little girls. All right. They were 4 and 6. And it killed me. It was the hardest day of my life. It just tore me apart to watch them leave at 10 o'clock at night. So the next morning I woke up and there was a meeting at noontime, but it was like 9:30. And I was just, going crazy, thinking about, I'm down here alone. My kids are gone. So I thought maybe I will clean the apartment. So I went underneath the kitchen counter to get something to clean with. There was a bottle of vodka there. I never knew it was there. It must have been from my last night of drinking. So I grabbed that bottle and I pulled it out and I put it on the counter. And then I started to think, nobody's going to know. And you know what? I deserve a drink. My wife's gone. I've been trying to do everything right for the last 2 months, going to meetings, trying to be a better husband, the whole thing. And she still left. I'm down here alone. I got crying. I got a bottle of vodka, and I grabbed the glass and I poured the vodka into the glass and said, nobody will know. Not even the people in AA. They'll never know. Then all of a sudden, something happened. I just poured the drink down the drain, and I grabbed the bottle. It was probably half full, and I poured that down the drain. And I remember it was somewhere maybe around 11-ish or whatever, and I knew the meeting hadn't started yet, but it was on a Saturday. I just hightailed it to an AA room. And what I learned that day was I had a choice. Now, again, I could have drank, right? I wasn't a big vodka drinker. The other people that were there for my last drunk, they were the vodka drinkers. I was always a beer drinker. I did like rum and cokes if I wanted a quick buzz real fast, but I was a beer drinker, drink a lot of it. But I knew I could drink that vodka and get a buzz. But then, would I have gone to that AA meeting? Chances are no, because then I would have been afraid that somebody would have smelled the vodka on me, or they would have known that I was a little fucked up, right? And then maybe I would have just stayed home and finished off that bottle. And then once I had my buzz, for heaven's sakes, why not go to a bar? I already fucked up, right? I already fucked up. I drank after saying I'm never going to drink again. So I knew at that point I had a choice. You have the same choice. Now, if you're watching this because maybe you want to get sober, awesome. You want to quit doing drugs, that's beautiful. Maybe you're struggling. You've had some sobriety, but you picked up again. Shit's hitting the fan with you, and you're thinking about drinking again. I understand that. There have been many times in my sobriety, the thought of picking up a drink came to mind, but I quickly shut it down, saying it's not going to do any good for me. It's not going to do a bit of good for me to get drunk, ever. So I let it go. I don't pick up, and I go through this shit. Sometimes I go through it wonderfully, and other times I fuck up, right? Sometimes some of the issues that I have, where if somebody pushes me a little too much, and I try to do the right thing, but I'll snap, and I'll just tell them what I think of them, okay? And probably shouldn't do that. There are times, in my jobs that I worked, if somebody really pissed me off, or if they did something, I would walk out. I'd say what I wanted to say, but I'd walk out. So I still have to deal with few things now and then, but the main thing is I never put a drink in me. Okay, because the only thing that works, you don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. So going back to AA, I always suggest just check it out. I'm not promoting it, but just check it out. There's always somebody there that you can talk to. You're never going to be alone. You may find somebody. I'm friends with somebody that I met 32 years ago. I met him a year after I got sober, but we're still close friends. My best friend. There's a few women that I met in AA that are still sober that I'm still friends with. I met people that got sober with their church. They've been sober for a lot of years. I know people who got clean with the church. Still clean, right? And unfortunately, I knew people that went to AA and they drank again. I know people that went to the church, they drank again. I know people who went to treatment centers, they drank and they used again. But that was their decision. You see, what I'm trying to get at, you can go to those gurus, you can pay them $5, $10, $15,000. There ain't shit they can teach you. All right. The only thing you have to truly remember is you don't put a drink or a drug in you, no matter what. Whatever you need to go through, you got to figure out how to get through it without a drink or a drug. Now, some of those people, they tell you, well, with the money, we're going to put you with somebody so you can be accountable to them. Fuck that. Who are you going to be? You're going to be accountable to somebody you don't even know? Go to AA. You can find a sponsor there, and somebody will give you their phone number, and anytime you want to pick up a drink, give them a call. Now, when I was in AA, I never wanted to be anybody's sponsor, because if they came up to me and said, hey, will you sponsor me? I said, why? Well, that's what we're supposed to do. I said, I understand. I said, but why are you going to call me if you think you're going to pick up a drink? Well, yeah. I said, so if you're going to call me because you're going to pick up a drink, you're telling yourself you really don't want to pick up that drink, but you want me to tell you, don't pick up the drink. Right? Let's talk about it. What's there to talk about? Because I'll tell you one thing, if I want to drink, nobody's going to talk me out of it. I'll drink. I already know what's going to happen if I drink. Right? I got a good idea. So if I'm willing to drink and possibly go through all the bullshit I went through before, or even worse, now that I'm older, right? Or even worse, then I have to accept the consequences. If I screw up, if I drink and then go out and get a DUI, get into a car accident, hurt somebody, hurt myself, whatever, it's on me. I can't blame anybody. Can't say, well, somebody wasn't there to talk to me. I already know better. You know better. Right? So that's what you have to get in your head. And I'm going to end with this. I'm not saying it's easy, right? But you have to get to the mindset that you don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. Now, I've talked about this a while ago, and it's hard for me to bring it up. I had two daughters, two beautiful daughters. My oldest one came and lived with me. She was very proud of every year, August 31st, that I had another year of sobriety. My daughters never saw me drink. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter got into using drugs and got into trouble. And we talked about it time and time again. And I went through 2 overdoses with her, which as a parent, that's one thing you don't want to do. I mean, seeing your child go through convulsions or, in the hospital, going through what they were going through, it's tough. And my daughter was a really smart girl, but for whatever her reason was, she always went back to the drugs. A lot of people she hung out with did the drugs. Her scumbag boyfriend was also into the drugs, and that's what she was doing. The third overdose that she had ended up taking her life, along with somebody else that was with her. So 2 people died right next to each other after shooting up. And as a parent, of course, that hurts. That was five. It'll be 5 years this July. She died in July of 2020, and it was tough. It's still tough. It still hurts. But we talked all the time. But I couldn't make a decision for her. I couldn't say walk away when she was supposed to walk away. Nobody can do that for you. Now, you may know somebody who's screwed up their life because of drinking or drugging. You may know people who died because of alcohol and drugs. Okay. Don't be one of them. You got to make the right choice. And there's help out there. I'm just saying be extremely careful who you're going to give any of your money to. When I went to AA, they never asked me for a dime. They passed a basket around, but they never, ever asked me for, or told me I had to give them money. And still, there's plenty of places to go where there's somebody from AA there that'll help you. I've always stated people can email me if they need some guidance. Always there for them. But as I stated before, I can't make the right choice for anybody. If I could, I definitely would have done it for my daughter. And I've said before, if there was a way I could have said, here's my sobriety, you take it. And my mindset, give me what you're dealing with right now. As a father, I would have done it. Right? I would have taken all the shit she was going through. I would have tried to go through it and then, get myself clean if I could. And if I couldn't, then whatever happened. But I couldn't do that for her. And if you are going through some things, because of your drinking and drugging, and I know maybe you got loved ones that are after you to do something about it. Do something about it because you're fed up. You're done. That's how I was, man. When I was looking in the mirror with tears going down my face on August 30th of 1992, going, man, you just fucked up again. Close friends are disgusted with you. How many more times are you going to do it? And I just finally said, it's enough, man. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And it was. I was done. I drank those 4 cans of beer on August 30th of 1992, threw them in the trash, and that was it. And, it was the best decision I made. So I hope this helps you. Don't pay for anything from people trying to peddle you a course. If anything, go to AA, go to your church. If you have money and you think a treatment center would be the best thing for you, check around and see where you're going to get the best treatment for your buck and go do it. But again, AA is not going to keep you sober. The treatment centers aren't going to keep you sober. Nothing's going to keep you sober or clean besides yourself. So make the right decisions. Now, if you would please, I keep forgetting about this, hit the subscribe and like, because I'm definitely going to grow this channel. I am going to try to help people not pay individuals to just feed them a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll get crap from the people who I'm talking about, but I could care less. So remember, your story is the only story you need to keep you sober, because my story is going to keep me sober. Don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, the studio will be up, so it's not going to be a mess like this. Bye-bye.
Don't stress, live life one day at a time. Don't drink or drug and you'll be fine. When life gets rough and you're feeling stuck, don't drink or use no matter what. Think about your serenity. Be grateful for your sobriety. Staying sober with Papa Joey. We're staying sober with Papa Joey. We're staying sober with Papa Joey. It's all about your sobriety.